And welcome back to the hottest marriage show in the galaxy. It's I, John D. and Kanika, a.k.a.
Yeah.
And Too Much Podcast. Good morning, my love. And how are you doing?
I'm here.
You're here. Is that a good thing?
It's always a good thing.
How's this morning going for you?
It's going great.
Great. Anything planned for the weekend?
Yes, we're doing fall festivities this weekend. It really should have happened before. Like, I don't know why it hasn't. But cider mill today. We go once a year. And after we have their donuts and cider, then we just buy the ones local. And decorating outside for fall. So it'll be fun.
It will be. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, in this relationship, what is the hardest part of it right now? In the marriage that we've had, we've gotten to this point. Before, you could look at the first year, the first 5 years, first 10 years, first 12. Last 3 have been different. But what could you say is the most difficult part of navigating our relationship now? And when I say difficult, what is it that we can do to not make it so difficult? Because I feel like if I don't ask you certain questions, I'm just trying to figure it out. And I would like to know your perspective.
For me, it's communication. Because before we operated in a lot of ways separately. And so I didn't have to, there were a lot of things that I wouldn't discuss with you. If it didn't have like to do with a large purchase or whatever, I wasn't going to argue and go back and forth with you. A lot of the times you were very, very dominant when it came to having a conversation and where things needed to end. And to get away from that, I didn't really talk much. Or when I did, I was much more careful with my word choice or what I chose to. It was like the eggshells thing, and I hated it. But I got used to it because it was easier for me to either avoid the conversations or make them short and simple. And if you pushed back too much, just let it ride. Then for me to really get what I wanted, it's too much conflict. And it was easier for me because I learned how to do it. And so it was like second nature. Now we see each other a lot more. We talk a lot more. So getting you to understand what I mean when I say something that I'm serious, or like when I say something to you and I feel like you're not listening or you're not processing what I'm saying, trying to find a different way to say it and not get in a fight. Because I'm frustrated because I'm still saying it and I'm trying to say it differently. You're frustrated because you either don't understand what I'm saying or you think I'm saying something else. And so it's almost like talking to you more makes the marriage harder because there are a lot more things that we can end up arguing about. However, because we talk so much, I feel like we're way closer, so we have a lot more fun. So it's what would I call it, a double-edged sword? Like
Catch-22.
Yeah, catch-22. Like, I want to communicate with you because I enjoy it because you're my friend. I don't want to communicate with you sometimes because I feel like when you don't understand me, it's like, do I want to fight? And then that's your favorite thing. See, why you want to fight? Because I don't be wanting to fight.
Because you can hear your tone says you want to fight.
Yeah, but in the beginning, I don't want to fight. And as soon as, and it might be that I've decided that if you push back once, or if you respond to me in a way that doesn't match what I'm talking about, like you don't understand it, I immediately think, is this something that I'm going to have to say a million times and then we're going to end up fighting? So I'll say it a second time and I'm tense. And if it's still not getting to you, then I have to say the third time, I'm almost out my socks, like about to be mad. And like what was it, yesterday? Like I said something to you. I was like, this is what we need to do. And because of this and because of this and because of this. And this is what I experienced. And you were like, kind of brushing it off because you didn't understand what I was trying to say. Like, I'm serious. This is, but I didn't sit there and say I'm serious because I didn't feel like I had to. I had said it a few different ways, and I wasn't out of my socks just yet. But when we went in and we came out and you realized what I was talking about, thankfully, you, even though you didn't want to follow. Okay, so let me give you, it sounds so complicated. So we're dropping the dogs off at the daycare. And I had told him when I took them to this place before, I took them in by myself. I was holding both of them. They're very strong. When other dogs came in, they go berserk, like barking. And if Kingston is next to Bruno and he's frustrated, he will try to fight Bruno out of frustration. And I'm explaining this to John. I said, this is what happened. So when we go in, I need to take them in separately. So So John was like, yeah, okay. So we get to the place, and I was like, okay, I'll go get one. He was like, I can just bring both of them in. And I was like, no, because of this and this, I need to take one in at a time. So we go in. He lets me do what I said I wanted to do. We go in, and they're chill. And one dog comes in, or is it two? All of a sudden, they went berserk. And John, like, they would not stop barking. And they were pulling and yanking. Now, if it were me by myself, you can imagine what that would have looked like. So we finally get out, and we're in the car. And what did you say?
I don't remember, but I know I was apologizing because I didn't understand. That's the reason why we got into it, because I don't feel like, I told you, it was that level of urgency, the way you felt like you told me enough information. If you did, I wouldn't have. But anyway, I want you to know, I did not fight you.
That's what I said.
I know, but you still got an attitude.
I got an attitude because I felt like I already told you when we were riding what it was supposed to look like. You told me,
but I'm telling you this. If anybody listened the way that you gave me information and then what happened, they look totally different.
Well, see, so this is the thing. I was like, okay, so this is what happened the last time. So this is what needs to happen this time. And he was like, all right. So I thought we were on the same. And then when we get there, I was like, all right, I'm going to get
because in my head, I was like, I'm still going to grab him.
Right. And that's crazy wild, because what I asked you wasn't going to hurt you to just take one dog.
It wasn't,
you had
but
decided that you were going to.
Because I feel like I always have the dog. So like, why do you need to do it? Like, I've been doing it.
Because I was saying proximity.
No, I get it.
Right.
Now, I mean, I get it after the experience.
Right. And so when he was like, well, you didn't explain it in a way where I felt like it was that urgent. So my thing was, I don't know how to explain urgency. I just know how to tell you what my experience was. And that was the other thing. So I was like, John, I told you my experience. I told you what my plan was the next time. I told you this, and then I told you I talked to you about it in 4 different ways. And then you said, you know what, you're right. I just didn't think that it was that serious. But to me, I felt like I was on the cusp of being upset because I had to say it 4 different times and 4 different ways, different parts of it, to kind of say what my feeling was, what my plan was, what my experience was. And it was still like, your response was, I'll get both dogs.
But see, this is what I'm saying. You're mad at me because I didn't get your message. And you said, I'm saying all 4 of your messages wasn't good.
But this is the thing. You understood what I was describing. You just didn't think it was that extreme. But I don't know, what does it look like for someone to express urgency to you? Like, I need you to for real understand.
No,
if I do that,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
might have felt like I was being like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
top.
To me, I feel like, your tone was monotone the whole time. It didn't change.
Right. So because I felt like I was giving information.
You're giving information, but still, I'm with you. I'm with these dogs. The information that you said didn't say that I couldn't do this.
It was the information I said was, this is what I want to do.
I totally get it, but I'm just saying, if you want to do it this way, it had to sound a certain way for me to like, okay, this is a situation where I'm not going to let my ego get in the way of me doing something. Like, to me.
So what does that look like so I can do that?
I just told you, don't sound monotone. Like, you said it 4 different ways and you mad at me because I didn't understand it.
I'm not currently mad.
No, I'm talking about then. You said.
Well, okay, so the thing is that I don't want to have to
express yourself for a way for somebody to receive it.
Well, I feel like I should have just been able to tell you my experience. I didn't have to like be loud and
see, why do you relate?
animated.
Why do you relate?
Okay, not
expressive
loud, animated
to words that sound extra.
Well, so this is the thing. You're telling me I need to sound different, but you're not telling me what that is.
I said don't sound monotone, and then everything the words that you're describing is extra stuff. Like I'm saying, like we're talking right now, our tone is changing. You were like, hey, I need you to do. So to me, all four of your things, you said what you said. I got the information after I experienced it. But even looking back, and if I paid attention to you, I would have had to know that she's serious about this. Like I know now, but the four ways you did it, all of them didn't sound like.
Okay, but to be clear, it wasn't that I was monotone because I don't speak monotone.
When I say, see, that's what I'm, now you're trying to.
Hold on, I'm not trying to be, I'm just saying, just to clarify, because other people
Absolutely,
don't know what we're talking about. But what I'm saying, you're saying I didn't have any type of urgency in my voice that was like, John, be on high alert.
So check this out. I feel like since I don't have the words to be able to explain it, you're picking anything. And this is what I'm saying. I'm telling you, the person that I am, that I've been trying to show you, I want to do everything I can to make your day. And you're mad. You were mad because I didn't understand how serious it was. Like in my head, I'm like, if I'm trying to do everything for you, I missed something. So it wasn't like I was like trying to purposely miss it.
Okay, so to clarify, I was frustrated, not mad. I used the wrong word. Second of all, what I understand that you don't always have the words. And so my attempt just then, before you started talking, was to maybe find a word that you could agree with, not to give words or try to make my own, whatever the case may be. I was just saying you expected that there would be a difference in how I described it. I thought that I only had to just tell you, and then you were going to be like, oh, okay, straight. That's fine. And the fact that I couldn't just tell you, you know, this is what happened to me the last time, and I don't want this to happen. And I felt like, you know, I don't know. I guess I felt like just telling you should have been enough for you to like be like, you know, she's not gonna take the time to go through all this explanation for nothing. It must be something, and just go with it. But see, for you, that experience, there's a need for more convincing. And so what I'm saying is,
so I guess this is the example that I could give you. If you say, John, I need you to take out the trash. Hey, John, take out the trash tonight, okay? Hey, don't forget to take out the trash. It's Wednesday, right? And I'm like thinking, like, I'll just take it out in the morning because they come in the morning time. But you didn't leave out a detail that the trash is coming on Wednesday night. And you was like, John, I told you to do this. I said, I know, but I'm thinking in my head that it's going to be picked up in the morning. But no, I told you 3 different ways that I need you to take it out tonight.
So in this example,
I didn't know that their behavior was going to, all that you just said, you know, they act a certain way when other dogs. But in my head, I've seen it when we walking down the street. So I've had both of them so it didn't look the same. That's what I'm saying. So like you said, you know, John, I just feel like if I say it, you should just, yeah, you're right. But that comes through experience for me to know. Like I haven't had any experiences to say I should just do this because this is one of those moments. The way that you were talking, it's almost like you got mad at me because you got frustrated with me because I didn't take your words as serious as you want me to take them. If I don't say something a certain way, like it could be taken as an attitude, like I don't know, like, you know, when I'm serious. It's not like, and I just feel like the way that you said it was just a regular conversation, as if I know, like something went off that said, oh, she's serious.
So you know what the assumption was that I had. You know how somebody would be like, put a blindfold on your partner. And it takes a lot of trust, because sometimes it's somebody you don't know. It's just like, you know, icebreakers or what have you. I guess I expect that when we're talking and I tell you something that's going on and what I think should happen because X, Y, and Z, there's going to be a level of blind trust that you have in what I'm saying. That it's just, I'm just going to trust what she's saying, and this is how we're going to do it because it's the easier way. Like, apparently, she's experienced it, and so she's trying to tell me this is the best way to do it because this is what she did the last time. And what I felt like was when I told you that, and when, not even in the moment, because in the end you let me do it the way I wanted, so I wasn't frustrated until we had a conversation where it was kind of like, I just didn't feel like what you were saying was da 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 da. That was where my frustration was. I felt like when I talk to you about things and I say, this is my experience, so this is what I want to do, or this is what I think should happen next, I expect a blind trust from you that it's like, okay, Kanika's saying this is how she experienced it. Let's try it this way with her because this is what she's saying. But to you, it's like, no, I have to see it in order to be able to trust what she's saying.
Yeah, yes, because I am going off of your language. Like,
but in marriage, shouldn't you trust? Like, I'm not going to tell you something because I'm lying.
How many untruths have you told me, or you thought that I was giving you, and you'd be like, "Oh, you're right," and I was like, "Y'all think I'm a lie?" The whole family does that to me. I say
it'd be little stuff.
It doesn't matter. But my point is,
you be like, you think I'm a liar?
All of you guys do that, and so this is the example. You wanted me to take your word seriously, but you guys call me a liar all the time, or untruth person all the time, because I don't do it to deceive, right?
Right.
So this is the time where you want some trust. You want me blind. I get that. You're right.
Fair.
You deserve that. Absolutely. I didn't know how to do that at that time, but y'all do that to me all the time. And I feel like when y'all do it to me, it's a joke. But now, because you were frustrated, it's a serious topic. Like, I don't like feeling the way I do either. Well, and I tell y'all that.
But I don't think, okay.
I want to know.
I'm sorry that you're getting upset.
No, I'm not upset. I'm frustrated.
You are hot. Your socks are coming off, sir. No, but so when we say,
see, it's a joke now. You couldn't joke with me.
When we say John be like, because he says stuff with John.
And then it happened, you're like, oh, you was right.
Yeah, but if we go somewhere, you're like, this is how we got to do it because this is what happened the last time when I did it, then I'm going to do it the way you want. Like, so I guess.
See, when I'm explaining it, I'm like, look, hey, these dogs was fooling last time.
Oh, see, you're giving me
well,
an
because
example.
now I can.
Okay,
but that's the way I would do it. I'd be like, yo, these dogs was fooling.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to take this dog. See, that's different from, hey, I need you to do that. I'm like, dang.
Okay, first of all, don't make it sound like I said it like that. Basically, I was explaining the way I was explaining.
That's
to
why
y'all.
I said that.
But and I said, please give me an example so I can.
I didn't know how to give it at the time. I just got it.
Hey, these dogs was on Foolie Wang the last time I went into this. And look, pulling me.
But you understand what I was.
But yes,
that's what I'm saying.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I know. That's what we were learning yesterday.
7 in the morning. I felt like 7 in the morning. I've just given the directives. So, but okay. So this is a lesson to be had.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna go both ways.
Definitely.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Oh, Jesus.
I've been a whole bunch of untruth persons with y'all.
Hey, but yes, I would try to be more expressive, and not just
like I'm supposed to just
give a summary like I would give a nurse. Yeah, I'm gonna give you. That's
exactly what that is.
Yeah, I was given like a end of report, end of shift report, but I would do that. I would try to use more descriptive words to describe my experience. However, I would also like for you, and I will return this as well, exercise some blind trust when you're trying to direct me in something that you've experienced and how we need to handle it. I would like for you to trust me also.
I want to do that.
Say he ain't gonna do it.
No, I want to do that. I do want to give another example of why. Okay. Like, I remember before I started walking the dogs by myself, like with you, like you didn't carry them. Mm-hmm. Like when dogs come, you would grab one and you like, let's go the other way or turn. And I'm like, I can do this. And like, now we don't really avoid anybody. We just put them to the side. So to me, I was like, it was one of those moments like, you can't do it. but I can do it. Like you,
But I don't like for them to just be barking left. That's why I go in a different direction, or I stop them or pull them in because I don't.
but you don't like
I don't
them to
want
be
them
dogs.
to be. No, I don't want them to be reactive.
That's what I'm saying. That's what dogs do. So
No, because the other dogs aren't doing it.
because they're trained.
Right.
So my point is they got to figure like this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is all I'm saying. You have sheltered these dogs. These dogs don't know how to act when they get around other dogs because you don't like the way that they're being a dog. You don't like them dogging around. That's all I've been coming up with. So
My
this is,
dude. You don't like them dogging around.
but I'm just saying, like, so I get it when you by yourself. So I looked at it. This was walking down the street and I got the dogs. Yeah, they got some force or whatnot, but I felt like I have control of them. Like going into there, I didn't know I thought it was going to be like walking down the street. I had no idea it was going to be like that. So even when you say it, like he's like, I need you to have this blind trust. Like if you wrote that on a note, you're like, hey, I need you guys to somebody left us a note, said, I need you guys to take the dogs in separately because when they go in, other dogs, they just bark. He's like, John, you can take them in. He's like, hey, I know you guys think that you guys to take these. They really do be fooling on this paper. If you say like something's different, but if you just say, I told you to do this, you did, but I thought I could do it. That's all I'm saying. So it ain't about blind trust. It's about you making me feel like, okay, I need to look at it.
I feel like I need to make it into.
See, you laugh every time. If we put it on paper, you understood what I was saying.
I get it.
And you just
this
correlated
been
it
about dogs.
You correlated it to nurse's summary at the end of the night.
But at the same time, like if somebody gives me a summary and they say, okay, this client, you got to make sure that they stay in the bed.
You're dealing with other people's lives. We're dealing with our dogs. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying, Annabelle might end up in the window naked dancing because of sundowners. And you be like, oh, okay. So but I'm going to pay attention because I don't want Annabelle in the window naked because she got sundowners. Like, regardless of how you tell me, if you tell me, then I'm going to trust because you've already dealt with her, that you're giving me a heads up so that I can have a better night. My shift will be better because you're telling me ahead of time what your experience is. They don't have to give me like...
They don't because they're professional. Me and you, I'm going off of our experience because we have more.
But we're professional in our marriage.
Professional.
So, yeah, we're professional in our marriage. And so that's why I was saying to you, communication can be the biggest challenge for me in the marriage because I have things that, I have a lot more rules now. Before the rules were, these are the only things you're going to have conversations with him about. Everything else you kind of manage on your own. Don't talk about this and don't deal with that and you'll be good. Now, there's so many rules that we have to establish, even in this conversation about some dogs. It's like clear that there are a few points that we need to polish in just that little bit of communication of like giving each other a handoff. Okay, John, I had the kids all day. This is what was going on. This is what you're going to need to do. And you know what? When I'm thinking about it right now, I know good and well I've probably told you things about the kids before handing them off to you. And you probably was like, whatever. And then
oh, no, I know I did.
Now that I think
because I I know that I did because even then when you would say these things, like I was like, she's doing too much. But I didn't learn that that's just how you operate as far as making sure everything is in a row. So mine is more, the house isn't on fire. Yours is, we're not going to get the house on fire.
Yeah, let's not worry about that. That shouldn't be the,
Yeah, but I mean, I understand that now. Like, I know that was one thing that this week that I planned on working on more. And I definitely didn't do it as much in this like I wanted to. But I do want to listen more. And a lot of times I'm defending myself or I'm trying to get you to understand from my perspective. And if I can just hear the whole thing, maybe I could give you that example that you were looking for that I couldn't find because I was trying to answer,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll do a better job at that for sure. But I think this was a really good show because I think we both learned. our temperatures changed, and then we brought ourselves back, and we found out how we can prevent this from occurring again. So I think that everybody learned with us today.
Yeah, he was mad.
No, not madder than you. I wish they could have seen you. Don't trip. My mad, I was laughing. Yeah, you were frustrated. My frustrated was even happier. Your frustrated was, I wasn't mad. I was frustrated.
You was getting hyped because your little socks was coming off. You was mad.
They were not coming off. That's why I was laughing. Anybody you want to give a shout out before we get out of here?
Not today.
Do I want to give a shout out to anybody? I want to give a shout out to our kids. I feel like our kids have taken this part of life more seriously than I did. I did really well in school. I participated, but I think that they just have a different focus that I didn't. I was more so trying to play and still get good grades, and I think they're more focused with playing things that's a lot more safer than the things I was playing. I definitely was fooling. So shout out to our kids and your kids who are trying to impress you with things that you've introduced to them in their life. They want to make their parents proud, and I can see that in our kids, and I'm proud of them in so many different ways. So shout out to them for wishing that people could be flies on the wall to watch them move, because they're really good kids.
They are.
So y'all make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA, get after that action, or that action will get after you. Be great on purpose.